right, welcome back to WWTF. Episode 1 is queued up here, and in today's adventure we'll be joining Ansley, Honut, and Tholgi after their ship, the Martel Company's Wind Proud, just shipwrecked on the beach of Hot Springs Island.
Hot Springs. Let the game begin.
You all awake on a black sand beach. It is morning of the next day. The storm has cleared. It is hot and humid. A wind breezes over you and tosses the dense jungle that lies 50 yards inland past the black sands. It's hot and humid, and as each of you get up and open your eyes, which are salt crusted, you look around, and in the black sand, you only see the other three of you and several wooden chests laying half embedded in the black sands. And as the tide's coming in, a couple of them are being dislodged by the black sands and skittering out an inch or two back into the sea. And looking back behind you, you see the wreck of the Wind Proud half bobbing in the water. It seems to have been broken in half, and half of it is sunk, but the main mast and some other wreckage is floating there in the water. Shafts of sunlight are coming down and illuminating you. You all feel fucking terrible.
Maybe some of these crates that are floating out into the sea, maybe we pull them up onto shore, because I bet you probably something that we can use into my hope.
Yeah, without returning a word to them, Tholgi starts walking into the surf to grab chests and start dragging them.
Tholgi, you recover 4 chests and cracking them open. In 3 of the chests, you all find essentially what is on your starting equipment lists.
Okay.
So you guys, start fairly well equipped. There's some good stuff in here. And as you're pulling them out and divvying them up between you, you select Ansley, your map making tools, or Tholgi, your weaponry, or Honut, your bagpipes. You're essential.
Yeah.
Blowing the salt water out of them.
In the 4th chest, there is a couple things of particular interest.
So while you're about to say that, are you guys writing stuff down? Should I be taking notes?
I'm a nerd, and I like notes. So, for instance, something that Josh has said during this intro has already changed my character slightly. He already has a feature in my mind because of something that he has said.
Is it cheating for me to ask what that is?
He absolutely hates the color yellow now. Anything yellow is just abhorrent to him from this point forward.
I'm glad I didn't go with a yellow dragon.
So in the chest, the 4th chest that you open, there are some...
Oh, cool. Stuff.
So there are 2 battered, waterlogged, but made of vellum, so it's not falling apart. They look like kind of incomplete journals. In fact, they look kind of deliberately incomplete, as if they've been separated or once part of a larger volume. One is marked down in the common tongue herbal, and the other bestiary. And then there's also a map case, tight and water sealed, with the House Martel yellow ribbons about it.
Very cool.
Very nice. Yeah, I absolutely go right for the map case.
So, Ansley, you open the map case and you see this map. Yeah.
So I'm opening up a...
Also, this is a terrifying map.
Absolutely a terrifying...
There's a lot going on in a very small amount of space right here, and I love it.
If found, return to B French. Is there a B French that we recall that I would know in my map-making historical sense?
You know that B French is the cartographer of the Dread Pirate.
Don't say Roberts.
Slowness, I meant.
Don't say Roberts.
The Dread Pirate, Jeremy Rand.
Yeah, this map is absolutely terrifying, with a volcano and lots of lava and sheer drop cliffs everywhere, and
But there's a couple good beaches.
Lots of wilderness and a couple of good beaches. And I assume then we are on this, would it be safe to assume that maybe we're on this northeastern black sand beach?
And generally, I would say that you wouldn't know, but Ansley, you've dedicated so long of your life to cartography. If you'd like to give me a intelligence check and take up your proficiency bonus for map maker skills, you can figure out if you're on the south or north based on like your expertise.
Cartographer tools, I rolled a 15.
A 15 will do it. You suspect that you are actually to the south. This seems the southern tip of the island. You're not exactly sure, can't pinpoint what section yet, but you definitely feel as if you're in the southern tip, not the northern tip.
Okay.
So during this time, Tolgi is flipping through or like scrolling through the vellum there, looking at the bestiary and in specific, and just shaking his head. back.
So as you guys survey the beach, it continues along. It seems to the northwest. The beach continues up and seems to have sort of a summit or like a definitive bend around. And then it also continues to the east and the south, coming gradually more vegetative and jungled as it terminates in that direction. And also there is essentially just jungle, dense foliage inland as well. And out into the sea, the only thing that you can see in the shafts of the morning light are the wreckage of the wind proud.
Personal question for Ansley. Do I trust Jeremy Rand as a cartographer? Do I feel like he's put out good work?
Jeremy Rand's the pirate.
Jeremy Rand's his cartographer. That's right.
Right.
Be French.
As a cartographer, you have opinions, but they're opinions that like two experts could have of each other, like critiquing each other's work. There's two things you know. One, you would do it differently. Not that he's wrong, you would just do it differently. And two, map making is an art, not a science. So anything you see here should be taken with, some grains of salt.
Yeah, and black sand as well.
You respect the process. It's just a little gauche for your taste.
Yeah.
So did you say the herbal book was in the...
Correct, yeah.
I was curious if now I know these things too.
Yep, so these are in character. Anything that you read here can be taken in character. I make no guarantees to their accuracy, only that they exist.
Excellent.
So it might be interesting, gents, to see if we can't find where some of these beasties actually exist and maybe start making a new map to mark the dangerous places.
One of Tolgi's eyebrows immediately goes up. I don't know if that's a good idea, boy. There's some scary looking shit in here.
Well, I don't know that we have much choice unless there's some sort of plantation on the other side of this wood, but I'm doubtful.
So, are we assuming we're the only survivors then?
I mean, do you guys want to explore the ship?
I'm happy to explore it with you.
I'm not for swimming, to be completely honest.
It in the water?
Yeah, so, maybe a football field away.
Yeah, never mind.
In the water. I'll just describe, what do you call that part where the naked lady is and the big pointy end? What do you call the front of the ship? The masthead, yeah. The masthead is floating like a
champagne room?
The champagne room, of course. Every ship's champagne room is in the front, and it bobs in the water, and then all around it is wreckage, floating sections. You imagine that there might be scavengeable goods or either survivors or bodies to put to rest if you paddled out into the water and did a little deep sea diving. But it is somewhat off of south of shore, and it looks pretty fucking wrecked. Thank whatever gods you worship that you managed to survive.
I mean, were it me out in that ship, and if I were still alive, I would want some help. And I think it's worth a quick check. I mean, and, Tolgi, we would need somebody to stay ashore and make sure everything here is organized, so no harm there.
No. I'm also not for letting you go alone, so if you're going, I'm going with you.
Yeah, we could try. Is there at least some wood around that we could, float on or something?
There's a lot of wood, broken planks of wood, in the water, and they're washing up on the shore in, big armfuls.
Anybody have some rope? We could make a little raft.
I do.
Hey, I've got a bit.
We could loop together a couple of these pieces of wood and at least give ourselves something to hold on to so we don't have to drown or possibly go underwater too much.
Well, that, and if we find survivors or gear, something to haul it back on.
Is there anything in the bestiary about water animals that we might encounter?
Let me take a flip or two.
That looks like a deadly spider. That looks like a deadly bat.
As long as you don't see any kraken, I think we're okay. But we do know that there's a giant castle-sized crab out there.
Yeah, I will say that most of the things in the bestiary seem to be island
adjacent,
Okay.
but not necessarily waterbound. But at the same time, I don't know how much time this author spent in the water around the island.
Okay.
Indeed. And I wouldn't be opposed to, again, adding to this bestiary as we find new things.
Tolkien nods and just hands you the bestiary.
Absolutely. I'm all for it.
This seems much more your deal. Actually, the fact that you've given him a task to like build a raft, he's tucked in. He's like, oh, I've got something to do now.
Okay. So, Tolgi, are you making a raft? Do you have rope and like?
Yeah, so I have 50 foot of rope. I have blacksmith tools.
Awesome.
I have the mending cantrip, and I also have some other special stuff to build things. So I don't think I'm going to bust that out just yet. So for whatever scavenged material around me, do I think that I can build something that could hold the three of us on the way out there?
Yes.
Or is there not enough gear?
No, I think that if you have tools and rope and materials, you can do it. The only thing that it's going to take is time. So like I mentioned, I have these little poker chips that I'm going to count time with.
Sure.
And if there's no pressure on you, there's no dragon breathing down your neck. The only thing that it would take is time. You're an expert. You are a powerful, like, forged cleric. So yeah, you can do it. It's only going to take a little bit of time. Are you willing to spend a watch on it?
So that would be my question. What time of day is it?
It seems to be early morning.
Okay. So I will talk to the two of you then. Do we know each other's names? I'm assuming that we know each other's names.
Yeah, brothers in arms is what I was thinking.
just to make sure. So, Ansley Honut, it's going to take me some time, most of the morning, really, to build a raft that'll carry all three of us. Is that something we deem worth it?
Funny enough, it looks like my calendar has just opened up.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I think that there might be something worth salvaging on the ship. And we're up shit creek right now.
So it seems to me like it might be prudent to take a look around while you do that too, to make sure there's nothing here that could hurt us. As I look at this bestiary, it suddenly dawns on me that anything could be looking at us from the tree line over there.
Also, there's a couple of edible things in the herbal guide.
Well, how's about this then? If you want to do a bit of scouting and you want to do a bit of foraging, stay within earshot at least, and I'll start working on the raft here.
I think that makes sense.
All right. Go team.
Okay, so for the next watch, I hear that Tholgi is going to be making a raft. What are Ansley and Honut doing?
I am surveying the land around me to see,
Okay.
if I can match what is on the map, but more importantly, to see if there's any danger around here that it puts us in immediate threat. And maintaining earshot, right?
Yes, stay within earshot.
I'm also exploring around within earshot.
In fact, you and I, Honut, could likely probably do this in tandem as we approach. If you're going to be foraging, I mean, it makes sense to have power in numbers.
And I'm looking for any bright red trumpet-shaped flowers.
Yeah.
Is that one of the instruments you've been thinking about?
It's in the herbal guide. It's a juxi root, and it's edible.
Is it hallucinogenic? I have to ask.
It does not appear so. It has a crisp, sweet flavor.
Damn it! New island.
I'm sure there's something in here that'll make us hallucinate.
Excellent.
As I walk away with Honut, I think Tolgi might have a little bit of a drug problem.
Oh, I also looked for hibiscus flowers.
So, Tholgi, you are working, and Ansley, you are following the map, and like you have your cartography skills out, or your tools out, and you're like calculating the height of the sun and trying to figure out where you are. Honut, go ahead and give me a survival roll if you're looking around for something edible.
Okay, what does that mean to you? I know what it means to me.
Sure, that's a good question. So you're going to roll a d20 and you're going to add your survival skill to the total.
Okay, and what is my survival skill? Survival
your
plus 2.
character.
Okay. So I rolled a 10 and then I get plus 2 for survival.
There you go.
Now, I'm hoping this means like my survival skills and not like your...
You're going to survive.
I'm just looking for
Right.
flowers, man.
Noted. Okay. So a watch passes, and the morning turns into late morning, listing towards noon. And Folgy has completed a pretty decent-looking raft, all things considered. He's even, like, carved a serviceable, like, pole to, like, pull out into the shallows of the water. Ansley, you are feeling pretty confident. You are in what the map calls Hex 23. And alas, Honut, despite your careful observation of the foliage, you haven't found anything that you would feel confident eating.
Okay.
You found, like just a shit ton of plants and flowers, but nothing marked in the herbal guide, and nothing that you know just from your, the camping excursions that you've done are like really good things to let pass your lips.
By the way, the herbal guide is also full of shit that's going to kill us. It's not just the bestiary guide.
Oh yeah. There's bad things all around.
Also,
this is like the island from Lost without the hot chicks.
Zac Efron over here. Just so you know, Tholgi, just because you might be interested, if we find any of this stuff called jelly moss, it's basically epoxy. It's building epoxy. FYI.
That sounds fantastic. I'll keep my eye out for that.
So as the three of you are talking and reconvening after your tasks,
good looking
all
raft,
noticed,
by the way.
Sorry?
I was just complimenting Tholgi. Good looking raft.
Well, it's my first one. I'm glad you like it. Hopefully it floats. Haven't tested that bit yet.
You all see a little 3-foot-tall, red-skinned, like essentially naked, horned creature with wings coming through the black sands towards you. And he's like, yeah, me too. Oh, wow, I hope it floats.
Oh.
So immediately, hammer comes off the belt, shield comes off the back. What in the blazes?
Ah! Wow! He holds up both of his 4-fingered hands.
So I raise both of my hands with no weapons and attempts a very calm and persuasive hello.
Yeah, hello. Wow. No harm, just to me, just the one.
Hello, what's your name?
My name's Hesio.
And can I ask, what are you?
Oh,
I just kind of point. I pointed at Ansley with the hammer, yeah, that.
Well, pleased to make your acquaintance too, large monkey. I'm a fire imp, and I have to admit there's more than one of us out here. I'm a member of the Flagonauts.
And he flourishes as he says it.
The Flagonauts.
The Flagonauts.
Fuegonauts.
Oh,
There you go. Monkey see, monkey do.
They're from the southern islands.
No, this one.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, this one.
That fire trick, can you do that whenever you want?
Yeah, that's sort of our deal.
Boy, I could put you to work.
Well, I feel like Svartu can put you to work too. Honestly.
Svartu.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, you guys are new. Svartu is the leader of the Flagonauts. He's our lord. He's just, oh my gosh, he's so great. He's so tall and strong and handsome, and he has magic. Just incredible.
So
Anyway,
Hesio, what would you say you actually do here?
It's like the Bobs.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm a member of the Cabasterinos, Svartu's crack group of fire imps, and we do all sorts of things. Mostly, make sure that the mining operation keeps going. Although we're not doing a great job of that right now.
Do you guys do the mining, or?
No, that was. Well, it used to be the ogres, but now things have kind of got out of control.
Ogres. Okay. Fire imps and ogres.
But it's not in the bestiary, lads.
What you got there?
He looks interestedly at the papers that you're shuffling through.
Oh, this is just a collection of what possibly lives on this island, as meager as it may be. The book, not the island.
Yeah, hold on. I've seen some of those around. There's there's other monkeys, you know, like you, and they're sailing in and out, and you know they're carrying copies of those things around. I've seen them.
Oh, so there is a chance we can add to the ones we have then.
Aye.
Are there any other monkeys around currently, or are we the only ones?
No, they come in every once in a while, and they're creeping all over. There's a bunch of them now, I think. There's all sorts of them, yeah.
Do they also work for Fire Knots? Fuego Knots?
Fuegonauts.
The Flagons.
Don't forget about Spartu. He's handsome and tall.
Yeah!
He's like leaping from foot to foot, like giving you the big thumbs up.
I tell you, Svarku will, be happy to meet you if you want to come up to, our citadel. We're, okay, hold on.
He like looks up and he like points up into so above the foliage, there's these like rising mountainous peaks, right?
Okay.
And he points to one that is dripping with lava, and it looks like it's in the center of the island, essentially. Like, you know, it's many miles away, so it's hard to like see in detail. He's like,
We live in the volcano!
That looks deadly for a monkey.
Monkey.
I can't help but think that might be detrimental to our flesh and stuff.
No, we have a whole chamber, like a whole lava tunnel. It's
So
all
like
cleared
a-
out. You'll be fine.
Like a no-burn zone.
Yeah!
Is Svartu also a fire imp?
No, he's an Efreet.
Do we know what an
Side
Ifrit
note-
is?
Okay, thank you.
yeah, so...
I meant character-wise, do we know what an Ifrit is?
Yes, understood.
Oh, jeez.
It's a Belgian
I'm
French fry.
Amazing.
Palm frites.
Yeah, let me give you the middle schooler's guide to planetology here in the setting. You guys are on the plane of flesh, where like animals and humans like live and rot and eat and like do the sort of things that like living mortals do.
I appreciate so much that you used the term rut and you put it ahead of eating, because
Well, you know,
that is so
Maslow's
important.
hierarchy of needs, dude.
I think it's perfect.
There are other planes of existence. Most famously, the sort 4 cardinal elemental realms. Imps are the least type of elemental, and then from on there you have like what are just generally called elementals, sort of like living embodiments of like earth or air or flame or whatever. And then above them there are sort of sophisticated, like higher orders of elementals, and an Efreet is an elemental of fire. It is said that they can grant wishes. That is what you know without making a roll. If anyone would like to make an Arcana check, I can give you more information.
I don't know anything about Arcana.
I have +3 Arcana.
If you would like to roll, Todd, you
would.
can.
Honut,
All right.
think real hard about this.
I'm gonna think a whole dice worth, a D20 worth. How hard am I gonna think about
Don't
this?
check roll. It's a D20. You're right.
+3, apparently.
Oh,
Oh, I should have thought harder.
yeah. Yeah, it's all I can think about is fries right now, guys. I'm really hungry. Sorry.
All right. So you got an 11, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to tell you, because you do know something.
Okay.
You know, so everything I said about like sort of the higher order elementals. I am going to tell you that Ifriti are generally considered to be bad news. And like you're basically just like with an 11, you know a lot of like stories, but no like concrete theory. And in the stories that you know, Ifriti are always like granting wishes and then like tricking the hapless protagonist of the story with like a misworded wish. He's like,
Did you ask for pies? Pies are a type of, like, evil bee that, like, stings you a lot, right? Like,
Yeah. Suddenly you can't think of anything else but math for the rest of your life.
Math
Okay.
is hard.
What was the dude's name again? Yeah, I wish I'd written this down. Hesio?
Hesio.
Oh, Hesio.
Well,
yeah.
Spartu is the big guy. Hesio's
Right. Hesio, that's a very kind offer, and I definitely think we might make our way up there eventually to come visit you and your lord and master, Svartu, who sounds very large and handsome.
oh, yeah.
We're going to check on the ship first, though. Before we do that, is there anything else you can tell us that might help us out here? We're brand new here.
Is there a welcome center?
He like smiles a very ingratiating grin, and you're like taken by the size of his canines. And he's like,
So, basically, the thing that you want to remember is this place used to be an elven island. The elves ruled here for, a million billion years. And, they all, terrible disaster. Everything went bad. But, like, if your currency is based on moonlight and your economy is based on songs, that's what you get.
Here, here, the dwarf says from capitalistic heights.
I'm going to tell you 2 quick facts about the setting. One, essentially the setting is post-apocalyptic. About 1,000 years ago, a new star appeared in the sky, and astronomers were very interested in it. And looking through telescopes, they reflected light through telescopes so strongly that it started a sentient wildfire that destroyed the world. Everybody that survived buried down into stone cairns deep in the earth. Dwarves were sort of the essential ingredient to that. They were the first people that developed that good technology, and then they helped everybody else out. So fact 2 is dwarves are the most populous race on the world because
Seriously?
everybody, yeah. Dwarves, the age of fire and madness lasted for 100 years until the sentient wildfire burned out everything on the surface.
Wow.
And now
All that
dwarves,
rutting.
Well,
now dwarves are the essential, they survived the most and they helped everybody else. So everybody that survived, all the races that survived, owe the dwarves of the last age a great debt. And essentially dwarves, have invented the currency. Common is the dwarvish trained language. They invented the alphabet. They invented democracy and monocracies and all sorts of forms of government. Dwarves have invented that stuff.
I just like dwarves. I'm pretty happy with my choice now.
So that is what Hesios has.
So that is where we're going to wrap today. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. We're still getting this thing off the ground, but one important note is that we do have a website, WWTFpodcast.com, and it does have a map of Hot Springs Island on it. So if you want to locate where we are on any given episode, you can check out the map on the website. The next episode will be coming out soon. We've got a friend on the island. We've got a raft. We'll see what we get up to. Thanks for listening.